Over the past few weeks, several friends have reached out to me. Those friends happen to be white. And what inspired their reaching out to me was an apology. And although it was unnecessary, I deeply appreciated the sentiment. As we began to engage in conversation and realize that there was a lot of things that we need to go deep with and go below the surface, and those conversations were amazing. It reminded me of a conversation that a rich young man had with Jesus. I like to call these tension points, and it's usually those tension points that we get to grow, and we grow not only within ourselves, but we get to grow closer to each other. This rich young man came to Jesus, and he asked him, "Good teacher, what must I do to have eternal life?" And Jesus, in response, said, "Why do you call me good? There's only one that's good." See, I believe that this young man was sincere in his asking, but I also believe that he was asking rhetorically. I believe that he was hoping that Jesus' response was going to be that he was okay. It was almost as if this young man took a mirror, held it in front of Jesus, and said, "Jesus, don't I look like you?" Jesus then takes the mirror and turns it back on the man. He says, "Well, I want you to take a deep look. Do you really think you look like me? Because there's still one thing that you're lacking. I want you to sell all you have and then come follow me." Unfortunately, the young man walked away sad because he had great wealth. I honestly believe that right now God is taking a mirror and he's turning it on our culture so that we can see the true reflection of who we are. See, before I'm anything, before I'm a black man, I am a child of God. And I want to address those who consider themselves children of God. See, what breaks my heart in regards to what we're seeing right now in our culture is that the church has always been a step behind. See, growing up, I went to a black church. I'm almost ashamed to say that, only because why has church been distinguished by color? Instead of being at the forefront of this racial issue, what we've really done is embraced its evil, and we perpetuated a cycle of sin. For us being okay with black churches and white churches or other ethnic churches, all we've done was we've given a seat to racism. And there was a time maybe we saw that as necessary. But as many of us have old clothes in our closets that still may fit, although it fits, when we look in the mirror, does it really look good? I think God is asking us that traditional thing, that thing that you've been wearing for so long, even though it fits, does it still look good? And quite frankly, in my opinion, it doesn't fit anymore. One of the things that several of my friends asked about was they asked, should they join a movement, one of the movements that's happening. And my opinion is this: we don't need to join a movement because, quite frankly, as children of God, we are the movement. It's time for change, and we know it. God is giving us a clear invitation by creating a tension point in our culture for us to be able to look deep inside of us and ask ourselves, do we really like what we see? See, it's not about us looking at ourselves and seeing a better version of who we are. What matters is if when we look in the mirror, whose reflection do we see? Do we see a better version of ourselves, or do we see Jesus? If we really see Jesus, then what we'll see in our country and in our culture will be totally different than what we're experiencing now. Thanks for your time. God bless you.